Then the angel showed me a river of the water of life, as clear as crystal, flowing from the throne of God and from the Lamb, down the middle of the great street of the city. On each side of the river stood the tree of life, bearing 12 crops of fruit, yielding its fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree are for the healing of the nations. No longer will there be any curse. The throne of God and of the Lamb will be in the city, and his servants will serve him forever. Water is a really important resource. As our world's climate changes, water becomes even more important. Written in a world where you couldn't go to a faucet to get water, but you had to go to the well, the Bible often speaks of rivers, of living water, not only because it brought life, but because it was moving, it was alive, and had life within it. That's why the Bible is filled with stories of people meeting at wells or rivers or lakes. And the story of creation begins with God hovering over the chaotic waters. These chaos waters are a threat to the world, and God works to bring peace to them. God creates out of the water, and chaos turns into something that is life-giving. After calling land out of the waters and giving people a place to live, we read in Genesis 2 that Eden is surrounded by 4 rivers. Each of these rivers flow from God's presence in Eden to the nations and empires of the world. Nations, peoples that will fill the story of the Old Testament, have their very lives connected to the existence of God. God's rivers bring life to all the earth and to all people. But as the story continues, people move further away from that life-giving water of God and choose to go their own way. But God's life-giving water still flows through the land. Later, as the prophets come along, they call the people to drink from the living water of God and envision a time when their lives in the world are transformed by that living water, a river that flows from the temple of God in the book of Ezekiel, flowing with life that provides good fishing, that provides life for all. Jesus continues the idea of water in the New Testament. In John's Gospel, he meets a woman at a well. And like so many Old Testament stories, a man and a woman at a well, but here he offers for her to drink of the living water that he is. Later in chapter 7 of John's Gospel, Jesus offers himself again as the living water and connects it to the Spirit of God at work in the world. All of this comes to a climax at the cross, where in John 19, a soldier stabs Jesus with a spear and blood flows out, and also water. The living water that brought life to Eden is now the living water that flows from the cross to bring healing to the world. All of these stories are in the background of Revelation 22. A river of life flows out of the throne of God and down the middle of a street. And think about what this means. In Eden, the rivers brought life to the garden. But now God is making all things new. This is not a destruction of our world, but it is the redeeming of what God has already created, all that we see and all that we are. It is like what happens to followers of Jesus when the Spirit begins its work. We become disciples of Jesus, and what is old is made new, what is broken is being healed. When the prophet Ezekiel speaks of the river flowing out of the center of the temple to bring life to the world, we understand that. But here something different happens. The river flows from the very throne of God. God is the source of life. Through the work of Jesus, there is life and redemption and hope and new creation. It's a life that is revealed in the work of the Lamb, a life that removes the curse from the land because God is with us. We've seen in Revelation the only way to overcome is by giving our allegiance to the Lamb. We've seen how we've given our allegiance to anything but the Lamb and how that has led us to a place where there is death and destruction, of not only of our world but of our lives. But here in this text we have hope. Hope because life does flow through the Lamb. Our lives of prayer, lives of searching for him in the face of our neighbors, lives of listening, these are all connections, ways that we connect to the river of life. But this isn't about us. It's about the way that God is with us, sharing the living waters with us and with others so that the life in us will flow out and be shared with our neighbors and our friends and our communities. This is good news. Hear how Isaiah invites us to this. Hey there, all who are thirsty, come to the water. Are you penniless? Come anyway, buy and eat. Come buy your drinks, wine and milk. Buy without money. Everything is free. Why do you spend your money on junk food? Your hard-earned cash on cotton candy? Listen to me. Listen well. Eat only the best. Fill yourself with only the finest. Pay attention. Come close now. Listen carefully to my life-giving, life-nourishing word. May the river of life fill your heart with joy this day. Amen.